So as we continue estimation, we just need to recap this key skill here of dividing numbers by decimals, because we're going to look at some of these questions here. Firstly, let's do an example, and I want you to take a note. What do you think the answer would be? 40 divided by 0.2. We're basically asking how many 0.2s are there in 40. And you can imagine it's going to be quite a lot. So the method I'm going to show you is useful in this context. There are other ways to do this type of division question, but we're just going to focus on this for this video playlist. So 40 divided by 0.2, this is basically what we're being asked to do. That can also be written as 40 divided by 2/10. Now we can simplify that to 1/5. Well, I'm going to leave it as 2/10 just for the sake of this example here. And then we know that dividing by a number is the same as multiplying by its reciprocal. So this is the same as that. And now we can actually work this out. It's quite easy to work out. So 40 times 10 is 400. And then divided by 2, and that's going to give you 200. We could have also just made this 1/5 and then do 40 times 5. We could have also simplified 10/2 into 5 as well, but we're not going to get too bogged down with those details. So have a go with the questions on the right, just to check your skills, because this is often something people forget. Pause the video and have a go. Okay, so I'm now going to do these two questions here, and you can check your work. So this is basically 90 divided by 3/10, which is the same as 90 times 10/3, and that's going to give you 900/3, which is 300. Now this is not an estimation, we've actually worked out the exact answer, but you're going to see once we start doing estimations, this skill is going to be used a lot more. So 127 divided by 0.1, this is the same as 127 divided by, now 0.1 is 1/10. So that's the same as 127 multiplied by the reciprocal, and that's just going to give you 1270. A small thing to notice that's really important. You are dividing by a number. You normally think that numbers would get smaller. So for example, 30 divided by 5 gives you 6. Now if you are dividing by a number that is on a number line between 0 and 1, so any number in between that, your answer will get bigger. So as all of these have shown, for example 0.2, 0.3 and 0.1, when you divide by these numbers, we did 40 divided by 0.2, that gave us 200. We did 90 divided by 0.3, that gave us 300, and so on. So the answer actually gets bigger. It's just something that you should be aware of. Okay, so let's do some practice here. So have a read of this. So Martha estimates that 14.5 divided by 0.512 is equal to 14.5. What misconceptions could Martha have, and what would be a more appropriate estimate? So have a think about this yourself, and I'm going to have a go at trying a more appropriate estimation. So remember, dividing by a half is the same as multiplying by 2. So if we were to estimate this, this would be essentially 14 times 2, which gives you 28. If you were to write this in a bit more detail, I would estimate this as 14 divided by 0.5, which is 14 times 5/10, and then, sorry, that should say divide by 5/10, and then this is going to be 14 times 10 over 5, which is just 2, so that's 28. So we've worked out a rough answer. It would have taken a lot longer for us to work out 14.5 divided by 0.512. So this estimate should be close enough, and this is a more appropriate estimate. Both of these methods are fine. The first way I did this might require a bit more confidence as you do this topic a bit more. Okay, so have a go at both of these questions. So the idea here is you're trying to make these questions accessible and a lot easier to do. You're not working out the exact answer. Okay, pause the video if you need more time. I'm going to have a go here. So I may estimate this, for example, as 300 divided by 0.4. And that's going to give me 300 divided by 0.4 is 4 over 10. So we'll just do this on the side. 4 over 10 is the same as 2/5. So 300 divided by 2/5, and that's the same as 300 times 5 over 2. Now, doing this calculation is actually, we can cancel this down before we multiply. 300 divided by 2 is 150, and then we just do 150 times 5. So that's going to give you around 750. So this is our estimation, and I can say the exact answer is 753. So it's very close, very good estimation. Okay, the second question, an estimation I may have done for this is perhaps 16 take away 8 divided by, I'm going to make that 0.2. So that will become 8 divided by 0.2. And again, we can write this out in another way. So it's 8 divided by, now 2/10 is the same as 1/5. So we'll just write that on the side. 2/10 is equal to 1 over 5. So 8 divided by 1/5, and that's the same as 8 multiplied by the reciprocal, which is 40. So 40 is our estimation, and the exact answer happens to be 33.4. So these are going to be acceptable ways of rounding these numbers, and we're going to look at some methods here. Which of these estimations would you say is the best estimation? Now, there's no correct answer here, so I'm not going to tell you which one is the best, but have a look at the 3 different ways to work out an estimate for this. Probably the second method is what I would have done, and think about why, for example, that was rounded to 270 when you're dividing by 0.3. Why was that rounded to 260 when you're dividing by 0.2? And why was that rounded to 0.3 and 300? So you can probably see it's to do with divisibility. It's easier to divide 27 by 3, 26 by 2, or 300 by 3. And that makes the rest of the calculation easier. So let's move on to the next example. Pause the video and have a look at these methods if you need more time. Have a go with estimating all of these. You need to self-check your work. The exact answers are given to you just so you can kind of see how far off you are. You are not expected to work out the exact answer at all, but you should be relatively close, and you're going to need to self-check this working out. Okay, pause the video if you need more time to look at this. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next video. Smash the like button, hit subscribe.